If Kelly Cunningham calls, let me turn this light on. And we should make this out. Okay, let me just tell you what it is. They had, based upon the conversation, the council indicated that was part of the deal. It had to be
The council indicated
yeah.
what part of the deal is me retiring?
Was that you were going to have to go. Now, let me just tell you, I understood it being immediate. I talked to 5 of them last night.
Right.
Well, some last night, some yesterday. And after you talked to him, I told him, said, look, if he turns in his letter of resignation on the last day that
Right.
it would be, and you take your vacation before that, and we work together to pick a chief.
Yeah, exactly.
And you explain to him, and you get former, that'd be, I'll take your resignation, I'll announce it at the parish council meeting
Okay.
next week.
Okay.
Prepare, and what's going to happen, prepare one by email, send it to me.
Mm-hmm.
I'll review it, look it over, and I'll
Mhm.
get it in writing. And then after we get that done, we're going to get you to have Donna send me a list of all the potential applicants.
Okay.
But that'll get you to that time, and you'll be resigning as chief.
Great. I appreciate it. But let me ask you, Michelle. I mean, you know through this whole process that they lied in federal court. I mean, you know I did all the right thing.
I know
And
Todd, I know that.
Yeah.
Can I tell you this? What bothered me with these people back there, and particularly the one that was the worst, was Greg Hood. There's no question.
Greg Hood, yeah.
Greg Hood had an axe to grind, you and me.
Exactly.
He was mad because I didn't put him as chief. And if I wanted to fix those assholes downstairs, I'd have put him as chief, and then they'd really fix him up on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but everybody would quit.
But let me ask you, on my investigation, I know you told me I was exonerated. Is that going to come out on the former
Actually-
allegations?
Actually, they came in, they gave us an oral report.
Oral report? Right.
Their written report kind of summarizes all this stuff,
Right.
but doesn't actually come to the conclusion that, all the things were, they told us verbally that on the 7 allegations or whatever it
Right.
was from former, that each one of them they found in your favor.
Well, good.
So that was what they told us. The report, though, is kind of more vague. It just goes through and
Okay.
talks their testimony. Now, let me give you an example. Milton Wolf was mad because he thought when you brought Farmer in,
I should have brought him.
that he was the one that should have been in there from day
Right,
one.
right.
And there were a lot of things that were going on.
Okay. Well, like I said, that's
Each of them had a little axe to grind, but the majority of them, let me tell you what it was. The majority of them was like, Joe Blow knows that this is the case because somebody told him, who told him, who told him, who told him. It's not like where they saw it with their own
Right.
eyes or experienced it with their own eyes. And Todd, look, you're going to leave on as good a tone as you
I
can.
appreciate it, and that's going to give me an opportunity to announce, hey,
Wrap up.
I'm wrapping it up. I'll wrap things up. I'll work with you.
This is what you want to do. Draft a letter of retirement. I'm going to revise it a little bit. We can end up where you can actually print it out and turn it in on
I'll
Monday.
email it to you. You want me to email it Monday to you?
You can end up where you sign it, send it to me, and we can announce it at the staff meeting on Monday.
Okay, good.
And that'll be something that'll happen.
Okay.
And when's your last day for retirement?
I want to say it's August 6th. What I'm going to do, I'm going to call them when I get back to the office and make sure, but they told me August 6th. August 7th, I was scheduled to go in and drop. So August 6th would be my final day.
Okay, well, that'll be something good. And look, Todd, I think you came out of this as well as you could be. Now, let me tell you, between you and I, it's kind of like me. I had the backwater flooding, Gustav Ike, BP spill, Biggert Waters, everything in the world. Well, you had 5 million things too.
Right.
But you came out of it,
I think we'd work, and we worked good. I've done a lot of things down there at the police
You
department.
know who was one of your biggest supporters? Orlando.
Orlando, yeah.
She said, let me just tell you, Todd's always been there for us. He always
Yeah.
supported us, and he was one of, She was one of your
And I
biggest.
appreciate that. And like I said, I want it to be a smooth transition. Whoever the next chief is, I want it to be smooth. And I'll work with them. There's a lot of things, you know, my employee list, there's a lot of stuff I'm gonna work with them on, get them, you know, transition into it. And we'll get it done.
Well, I want to make certain of that. And also, we're going to have to, after we prepare it and you turn it into me, then we're going to get Donna to give a list of all
Right,
the
right.
people. If they pass the chief's exam, that's one. If they eligible to take the chief's exam, that would be another one. And I think according to the statute, you have a copy of that statute?
No, I don't. I don't.
Well, in any event, I think it gives some minimum requirements
Okay.
on that thing. And I think I can send it to you if you want, that statute 106.
Okay.
And so that's
Well, it's,
basically. But look, let me just suggest this. It's kind of like in my stage right now. I made it to this time. I'm kind of coasting in. Whatever you do, don't do any big moves, things. If something comes up that could be
Michelle, I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm not doing anything right now until the new chief come in. I'm gonna start preparing my way out. I'm gonna start preparing for the new chief. Big decisions. Hey, come on, chief. Boom. You know, yeah. I'm not doing anything until it's approved by the next chief. That's why I wanted to do this,
Right,
Michelle. I wanted to make a smooth transition, and that's how I'm gonna do it. I'm not going in there and making no moves unless the next chief approves of it, and that's how I wanna do it.
well, even then we need to think twice about it.
Oh, absolutely.
But
yeah.
let me just ask you, you thought about the potential candidates? Who do you think's the best?
I think you got Dana Coleman would be a good pick. Troy Wazin, you mentioned, is a good pick. That's about the two I would recommend, Michelle.
Lonnie's
those-
way too political.
Lonnie's political.
Kyle's
Kyle's
shit.
political.
Dwayne is crap.
Yeah.
You know, I mean.
Milton's
no
on
con-
his way out. He had issues prior with me. Had a lot of issues.
Bobby's the only one that's gonna think he should be the chief.
Bobby is going to think that, but you
He's
know
too
Bobby.
scattered.
I don't have to tell you about Bobby. You
He's
know
too
Bobby,
scatterbrained.
and you know. So I think you're right on with you know, Dana
Bobby would be
Coleman.
the next captain, right?
I think so. Or Dana or Troy. One of them guys. They both lieutenants. Dana and Troy.
Was Troy one that used to drive Barry Buckley around?
No, I don't think Troy ever drove Barry Baldwin. Troy, very professional, military experience. I have nothing good to say about Troy or Dana Coleman.
Nothing bad to say.
No, I'm sorry, nothing bad. Troy and Dana Coleman has supported my administration, have been an asset to my administration.
They
Troy,
both worked hard.
oh,
on that
absolutely.
thing. And can I tell you this, they know not to go ahead and stir the pot.
They know.
But you got these people that do stir the pot.
You
So
do have
look,
that.
just keep it to yourself.
Sure.
What's gonna happen, I'm gonna let you go ahead and turn in the thing to resign on that day, the 7th.
August
I think.
6th. I'm going to call retirement, make sure I get my final day.
And make certain if it's August 7th, you go ahead and do it.
Yeah, I'm going to do it.
Now, actually, Al computed, he said, Michelle, he's already got his insurance, he's already got his thing. He says, if you were to retire now, it would just be a little bit of a
I know,
bit,
but there's some unfinished business. I want
Yeah,
to, you know,
that's
I want to
good.
work at transition in you, chief, my dignity. I want to go out to the public and say, hey, I want to tell people, Michelle, I'm
Mhm.
retiring. I'm happy. I'm
Mhm.
excited. I want to have this next month of excitement and tell the people, look, I've done my job, I've done the best I can, and it's time to move on.
And let me tell you what, I got the battle scars to prove it.
And look, I appreciate your support, you know, through the whole process. And hey, you know, it was a good ride. Well, I appreciate it. We've come a long way. And I'll tell you this, crime is all-time lowest. So it might be the best time.
Yeah, you go ahead out and climb as well. You go ahead, I want to take care of it.
When you want to be on it,
Okay. What you might even do is you might want to because Hannah would see it.
yeah,
She sees my email.
I'll bring it to
Bring
you.
it to me.
I'll get it to you. I'll get it to you. So,
Thank you.
Last night when we were going home, my father-in-law said, That sure is a nice man. I'm being, and listen, he knows my father-in-law well.
Yeah.
I want you to know that you impressed him when we sat across from
appreciate
each other
that.
eating last night.
Yeah,
Okay,
I-
and Todd gave him a lot of insight into a lot of things because he was on the the city council once
I
before.
appreciate that.
And he said that as soon as we got in the car, he said, "Man, that chief is a nice
Yeah,
guy."
but you know what he is, and everything. I would have stayed, I would have talked, but I can't.
I
I
didn't
can't.
realize
I
you
gotta
did.
figure
I
something
didn't
out.
realize.
I couldn't even
But
hardly-
Todd and I talked about that also. He found it not offensive, but the smell was strong.
Well,
when
with
we
the
first
smell
got
of the
there.
smoke, when I got there, I could smell the smoke
Yeah.
from the flags. It was very strong odor.
See, and you don't have lung problems like
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, I didn't realize you had that. I never knew that. You know?
Why do you think I have this? Sometimes I'm out of breath for that thing. I can't.
I just thought you had so many thoughts in your mind you couldn't get them all out at one time.
That's part of it.
Hey, tell them I enjoyed the conversations.
Good,
Thanks.
appreciate it.
All right, bye-bye.